So this is going to be me just talking about happiness. You see, I don't know, happiness is a complicated topic. It's something that a lot of people try to chase. But in reality, can you really force your own happiness? Can you really control your own happiness? And is it reliant on external situations and circumstances based on how you live, what's going on in your life, the things you have, how do you control happiness? And that's something I always ask myself. You see, in my opinion, I think the number one thing is just simply acceptance. It's simply realizing that just wanting the complete life experience. And when I say the complete life experience, I mean everything, the ups, the downs, the wins, the losses, the failures, the regrets, basically everything that you can wish for should be a complete life experience and not a one-sided life experience. How can you how can you wish for just wins every single day, only wins, only good things, only the highlights, when in reality life gives you everything. Life gives you the wins and the losses. Life gives you the trials and the errors. Life gives you everything, and that's how you have to take it. And the people who are just okay with the way they know they want to live their life, they're okay with anything happening. They don't care if today is a bad day. They just go through it. They know that they're capable of pushing through the hard times. And I think these are the people that are the most happy. I think the people that are the most happy are the ones that don't really care about happiness all that much. To them, it's just a byproduct of living life in a fulfilled way, doing things they know they want to do. I think when you truly solve and fix the root, then happiness just becomes a byproduct. It just becomes automatic. And I think a lot of people, they make happiness the goal, right? They make happiness the ultimate goal, but is it really the goal, or is it just a byproduct of your goals, of you? Because when you can truly understand yourself and understand why you're here, like what makes you happy? What is the work that excites you? What are the things that you want to do with your time, with your life? Because when you can understand these things, then all of a sudden happiness comes. It comes automatically. When you know yourself, when you know the person you are, when you know what you want to do with your life. And I think that's one of the most important things that you can't underestimate. Because what is happiness? Why are some people happy? Why are other people unhappy? Why, you might ask yourself sometimes, why are these things happening to me when other people are just having good lives? But the truth is, you don't see everything. Everybody has problems. Everybody goes through their own things. And, it's all social media. You don't see everything. And because you don't see everything, you compare your whole complete life, which is the way life should be. You compare that to somebody's 2-second reel, somebody's 3-second, 3-second snap of their life, of what they do and their happiness, which is really not, it doesn't represent what life is about. Happiness is just, you could say it's something you could say it's something you can strive for, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the mindset of I'm gonna do what I need to do regardless, I'm gonna make things happen, I'm gonna create my dream life, and I'm gonna enjoy the work in the process, that is when you win. That is when happiness comes. That is when fulfillment and success come as well. Because without these things, you're just gonna be left behind. You're gonna be lost. You're gonna, even through the days of achievement, you're still gonna find yourself empty and hoping and wishing for something that doesn't exist. Happiness is a byproduct of you being you, of you living in acceptance and knowing that everything you're doing is going to take you to the life you want to live. It is not in things, it is not in places, it is not in people, although it can be. And it is certainly not in the achievements you wish for. It is simply right now. If there's no happiness right now, and I think in the present moment, then I think the future is going to be mostly devoid of happiness, because realizing that what you have now is going to determine everything you have in the future. And you can't have more later when you're not grateful for what you already have today. I think happiness is also gratitude. It's also knowing and thinking and loving a lot of the things that make you, that make you unique, that make your character one of a kind. Because everybody goes through their own things. Everybody has their challenges and the things that plague their minds, or the things that make them happy, the things that make their lives complete. But it's about the whole experience, man. You can't wish for life to just be one-sided, to just be like sunshine and rainbows. Life is life. Life is life, and things are going to happen. You're going to go through different things. You're going to have periods of success. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains. And these are things that it's just the course of nature. You can't ask God why, you know, why is this happening to me? Or if you lose something or if you're like having a really good time, and then obviously nothing's permanent. You're going to have dips, you're going to have ups and downs. When the down part comes, you're like, God, why did you take that away from me? You can't be asking those questions. You should just be grateful that it came when it did and it lasted as long as it did. Because that is, in essence, everything that you need. It is the life you know you want to live. You know, everything that makes you, everything that shapes your life and your reality, and you just got to accept everything as it is. Because if you can't accept what you have today, the things you have, the people around you, and the place you're in, then no amount of positivity in the future is going to save you from yourself. So that's just my take on happiness. That's what I think happiness is. You know, I'd like to believe that I'm quite a happy person in the grand scheme of things, that I have a high emotional tolerance, that I can go through things, that I can find happiness in even basic things. At least that's what I like to believe. So that's just my take. I think it's acceptance. It's a little bit of acceptance, a little bit of peace, a little bit of fulfillment, a little bit of creativity, a little bit of creation, and, you know, doing something with your life too. It's like, if your life doesn't have a purpose, how do you expect to stay away from depression? How do you expect to stay away from your own mind and your own overthinking? Because overthinking is happiness. You know, thinking is very basic. It's like, okay, you think about what you're going to do next. You think about what you just did. You think about a couple of things every single day. But overthinking is just bringing in too many variables that you begin to lose count. You begin to lose track of your life. And, you know, when you bring in too many variables into an equation, which is the equation of life, it starts to become complicated. And when things become complicated, you become confused. And confusion leads to depression, and depression leads to unhappiness. So that's what I think. I'm Dan, Zakaria, and I make videos like these, so subscribe if you like this. I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.